Okay, so in your book, you refer to the weaponizing of end times ideology by believers. Tell us more.
I'm really concerned about the way in which, in my opinion, the end times have become weaponized and politicized in the recent past. For me, this stands out in a number of ways. In the English-speaking world, end times beliefs have been used to justify Christian nationalism in the USA, in the UK, now in the Orthodox Russia of Vladimir Putin.
Hmm.
In my opinion, we saw this in the UK over Brexit, for example. It also concerns me when people like Franklin Graham, as recently as the fall of 2021, appeared to reject climate change action because the end is imminent. If it's not imminent, then rescuing God's creation for the effects of fallen humanity would seem a pressing need. If the end is near, God will, I am sure, want to find us at our posts caring for his world.
Yes.
After all, and this is a major point, just because something is a fulfillment of prophecy does not mean we should be passive regarding it. We are still responsible for our actions regarding circumstances, even if they are fulfillments of prophecy.
Yeah, so we don't stop doing good in the world just because we think Jesus is coming tomorrow.
Indeed, absolutely so. And a fulfillment of prophecy may sometimes be something of which God strongly disapproves and maybe a judgment upon the world.
Yes.
So us going along with it and saying, oh, that's fine, it fulfills prophecy, could be morally and spiritually deeply problematic.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. All right, so now if you could go back into history, who is the one person you wish you could have interviewed for this book?
I would like to have interviewed Oliver Cromwell, the Puritan politician and the 17th century Republican leader in Britain during the British Civil Wars. He believed in the imminent return of Jesus, but he clashed with end times literalists of his own time, particularly the Fifth Monarchist movement. And I'd like to ask him what he thought and why there were such huge differences between himself and some among his fellow Puritan contemporaries. In the present time, I would have liked to talk to Hal Lindsey of Late Great Planet Earth fame, a very influential book in the 70s and had a big impact on me at the time. I've got big disagreements with him, and as I am a Bible-believing evangelical, I'd like to discuss why our views, given the fact that we both have deep respect for Scripture, believe in the second coming, believe in the end times, why, despite that common approach, our views on the subject are so different. I would like to share a coffee and have a chat.
So, yeah, that'd be a great conversation. Since you finished this book, is there anything you would have added to it?
More information on the eschatological speculation during the American Revolution. I mentioned it, but I'd like to have said more. It was happening. There were various end times related references being made to George III, but I'd like to have delved deeper into that and tried to work out what was going on there. I'd also like to have explored more of similar speculation that was occurring during the Napoleonic Wars. I touch upon it, but not in as much detail as I wish I had. Also, coming up to date, I mention, but I'd like to have explored much further, the way that extreme end times ideology and beliefs in QAnon and similar outlooks tend to be held by the same people. Things that drove the emergence of QAnon were, I think, related to what also drove and is driving the renewed radicalization of end times beliefs. The connection is not surprising, since QAnon represents almost a humanistic, millenarian, realized eschatology, focused on imminent judgment day, which will be followed by a reordering of US society. In January 2021, research by the American Enterprise Institute's Survey Center on American Life found that of those inclined to believe QAnon, 27% were white evangelical Christians. In short, there is, the study found, significant overlap between Q followers and evangelicals, quote unquote. If I was submitting the book now, I'd make much more of exploring this and trying to work out why.
Okay, so maybe an updated edition coming years down the road.
Maybe so, if I have that opportunity.
Yeah. What do you think people are going to find controversial about this book?
It's challenging of the belief in the dispensational pre or mid tribulation rapture, which is so mainstream now. I think challenging of that is controversial. It's calling for less time to be spent on end times studies and speculation, and more time on kingdom building. And probably my views on the way current end times beliefs are used to support a particular political outlook. I think those are controversial, but they're things that I sincerely feel and I'm concerned about.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So what's next for you, man? What are you working on now, and when is the next book coming out?
I recently finished writing a book titled Apocalyptic Politics, which looks at the link between end times beliefs and radicalized politics across global cultures and time, not just within Christianity. And this includes in Russia, where extreme end times beliefs within Russian Orthodoxy and extreme nationalism have become entangled. In fact, I had to update that chapter following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. God willing, this book should be out in the late summer.
Nice. Love it. Martyn, where can people buy End Times Again, and how do they get on your mailing list?
They can get it from the publisher, Whitman Stock of Eugene, Oregon. That's Whitman Stock, Eugene, Oregon. Online booksellers, for example, Amazon, but there are many others. And any local bookstore can order it. So support your local bookstore as well. I'm on LinkedIn, and I can also be found on Twitter, where I am at Martyn with a Y Historian.
Nice. Thank you, Martyn. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. I truly appreciate the careful way you handle our Father's Word, and I know that the Lavera viewers and readers will too. I will be adding a link to your book in this article and in the video description.
Many thanks. That's very much appreciated. My hope, my sincere hope and prayer is that the book would encourage a conversation with fellow evangelical Christians about this extremely important issue. Even when we disagree, I think it's good to discuss why we think as we do based on our exploration of Scripture.
All right, folks, that's a wrap. The book is The End Times Again, 2,000 Years of the Use and Misuse of Biblical Prophecy. The author and our guest today was Martyn Whittock. If you love the Word and you want to better understand end times prophecy, you want this book. Remember, it is the truth that sets you free. See you soon.